Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Integrative Mindset, Pathways to Practicing as a Christian Clinician by Brad D. Strawn and Earl D. Bland. Narrated by Brandon Pollock. A kind of introduction. Please do not skip this introduction. This is not your typical book introduction. In this introduction, we share with you why we dared to write this book. In doing so, we invite you into a conversation, a dialogue. We let you into our clinical integrative minds in hopes that they will affect yours. If you've listened this far, the dialogue has already begun. Listening to a book is like having a conversation, even if mostly one-sided. We can't know what you're thinking or feeling, but we trust that you will be, and that is our desire. Our subjective experience affects yours, and so we believe that thinking, feeling, pondering, destabilizing, and confirming are all happening even if we don't get to hear your side. This book is born out of hundreds of conversations between the two of us, with our students, and even in the clinical setting. We trust that your dialogue with us will include, from your side, interactions with beliefs you have held up to this point, with people who have been important in your training and now live in your memory, and maybe even with others who are also using the book. We provide some reflective questions toward the ends of the chapters to facilitate this conversation. Ultimately, we hope you feel invited into our clinical integrative minds. We are not trying to persuade you that our approach to practicing as Christian clinicians, for example, clinical integrative practice, is the best. We aren't looking for disciples. We are not offering a Christian therapy, but a way to think about therapy that takes religious faith seriously. For us, that faith is Christianity, which animates everything we do as clinicians. What we are attempting is to let you in on how we, two integrative clinicians who have each been practicing for over 30 years, over 60 years total, think about our work. We believe that the process of practicing in clinically integrative ways is too highly idiosyncratic to each therapist and/or counselor and therapy dyad for a one-size-fits-all approach. Therefore, it is quite difficult to say what makes a therapy Christian. We are not playing the game of who is in and who is out. However, practicing clinical integration does not preclude learning from others. This is why it is a dialogue. In this book, we attempt to share with you what we have been thinking, feeling, and embodying these past 60-odd years, and we invite you to play with it, destroy it, rearrange it, take it apart, and put it back together again. Just make it your own. Keep what's helpful, throw out what doesn't fit. Life and therapy are too deeply influenced by one's particular social location to do otherwise. As we were conceiving this book, we asked each other, how did we learn to engage in clinical integrative practice? While we both benefited greatly from theories and models, it was the dialogues we had with peers, professors, and especially supervisors that we found most helpful. In these dialogues, we experienced ways of thinking integratively. We are thankful that we, mostly, never had supervisors force their approach on us or make us into therapeutic ventriloquist dummies. Instead, supervisors, the ones who had the greatest and lasting impact, modeled ways of working, ways of conceptualizing and feeling, offered possibilities. They led us into their clinical integrative minds. They showed rather than told us why integration matters. These were certainly eye-opening and informative conversations, but what they mostly did was awaken our imaginations. Dialogue is not easy. Often in life, we become anxious. We resort to debate where there are winners and losers. But dialogue is a vulnerable space in which both participants hold their experiences lightly, and subsequently both participants might be changed. So beware, if you listen to this book, you might be changed. You might be challenged, and you might be exposed to ideas and experiences that cause you to feel, even feel deeply. How will you respond if something surprises you, doesn't fit for you, or even rubs you the wrong way? Will you throw the whole thing out, or will you risk staying in dialogue? Will you search for some resonance and anything helpful that you might take back to your situation, setting, and social location and make your own? Will you be tempted to dismiss it all, saying something like, "That's not Christian"? We have found that we have learned much from those with whom we disagree, if we can manage our anxiety and hold the dialogical tension. We believe that it's in the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?